Okay, so as you can see from the sign, we're now at Britford Park and Ride. So the Park and Ride car park at Britford. And so typically you could come here and do some bay parking manoeuvres. Really important when in a car park to observe all lane markings. So we've got a pedestrian give way here, we're just scanning there before proceeding. Also the direction markers. So they tend to have direction flow markers and speed limits for car parks, because we've got a lot of cars doing reversing manoeuvres with limited visibility, and also pedestrians. Speed limits for car parks are invariably very low for safety. But we're not going to do any parking manoeuvres today. We're going to look to head back along the A338 towards Salisbury and enter the city via Harnham Junction. As you can see from the sign there, that's a left turn, but what we must notice is the lane to our left is a dedicated bus lane, so we mustn't go in there, and it has the solid continuous white line. But we know at these traffic lights our intention is to turn left, so left mirror, left signal. That is confirmed by the green route markers there, so we can see straight ahead of us, city centre A338 is left. Checking left mirror and shoulder for any buses and keeping out wide of that bus lane. So we're driving in lane 2 of the 2 lanes, lane 1 being a dedicated bus lane, and as that blue sign tells us, other users can include motorcycles, cyclists and taxis. But we, to be very clear, we must not drive in that lane, and we must not cross the solid white line. That last point becomes highly relevant, as you'll see, because our intention as we approach Harnham Junction will be to do so in the left-hand lane. So we have to wait until the solid continuous line comes to an end, and the bus lane therefore comes to an end, before moving over. However, it is not uncommon, in fact it is actually quite common, to see other motorists not adhering to those rules, and so going early and crossing the white line. So it is imperative that before you move your car from this lane into the left lane, you have very actively checked your mirrors and a shoulder check to avoid any collision. It's no excuse to the examiner by saying somebody else has done something incorrect. You see a lot of people will look at the sign there and then move over now, when as you can see the continuous white line continues. So I'm very actively checking my centre mirror and my left mirror now to be very aware of who's behind me. I'm going to start signalling now to give people good clear warning that my intention now is to move over into the left-hand lane. And just as predicted, there's a blue car behind me, fortunately some way back, that has done just what I described. So they went early and they've contravened that solid white line. So we now have a lane to our right, and so we will be flowing round to the right in this lane, avoiding cutting across the cars to our right. If we were going off to Laverstock Market, we would then head curb line, because the lane I am currently in splits off to Laverstock. But as you'll see, as we go round, giving space to the car on our right, we then flow neatly into the second of 2 city centre lanes. Checking the lights are clear, the box junction is clear, we continue to flow. And again, we've still got that lane to our right hand side, so we check this box junction is clear, go curbside, and then that keeps us out of the lane to our right. Just cautiously round this bend, it's quite a tight one. And then when the wheels are straight, we can bring the power in. Checking the mirrors, as our intention is to turn right, so centre mirror, right shoulder, right signal, final shoulder check before moving the car into lane 2. And we're now approaching Exeter Street roundabout with the intention of turning right. So mirrors, signal, we're already positioned in the right hand lane as we've said. We're in the speed phase, checking the micro in front has cleared the junction before we start our approach. We can gently flow on, the yellow box junction is clear, taking to the centre disc. Now we start actively scanning that left mirror, left shoulder, left signal, move the car across, take our road position, exiting into lane 1 of the 2. New road, new mirrors. Okay, so we're just about to approach Harnham Junction from the Laverstock Market end of town. And what you will notice is that it has been raining, and it's started to rain. It's been quite heavy rain. So the first thing in terms of additional controls, we've got windscreen wipers on so we can see where we're going, and we've also put dipped headlights on so we can see and be seen. So it's very much to make the car visible. Daytime running lights are too bright for these conditions. They dazzle people through a wet windscreen, and they don't show red lights to the back of your car. So little mantra: when wipers are on, dipped headlights are on. The other thing to be aware of is obviously braking distances, stopping distances on wet roads increase. That's why it's so important, and why we check our tread depth. Check we've got a good depth of tread to dispel water and avoid aquaplaning. So that's why one of the questions is around what the minimum, legal minimum, and also what the safe minimum requirement is for tyre tread depth. So, with all of that in mind, the crossing is clear. We're looking ahead now to Harnham Junction, so just holding back on the bus to get a view of the route board. So this is Harnham Junction, and our intention is to turn left, sign for the ring road. So, centre mirror, left signal, and then you'll see as the bus is positioning there, we position into the left-hand lane, having once again checked that left-hand mirror and shoulder before actually moving into the lane marked for city. Again, increased separation gap on the large vehicle that is a bus. We'll just pause our wipers there. As we can observe, as we 3-mirror sweep and put the wipers back on in preparation to move, this is quite a tight bend, so we're going to keep to the curb line and just steer around into lane 1 of the 2 city lanes. Again, this becomes quite tight, so nice and steady in a controlled gear. And looking ahead now to Exeter Street roundabout, our intention is to come back on ourselves to go full circle. So I'm checking my right mirror, right shoulder, popping a right hand signal on before positioning the car into this right hand lane. Now, despite this being a full roundabout rather than a mini roundabout where this manoeuvre is discouraged, it's still quite an unusual thing to do, and so people won't be expecting this. So my plan, particularly given the construction and the layout of Exeter Street, is when I come back round I'm going to exit into lane 2. But I just want to give additional space and avoid any possible confusion with people coming along from College Roundabout. So I'm taking to the centre disc, and most people will be expecting me to exit at this point, but I'm continuing on round. So there's the kicker, left mirror, left signal, and I'm going to exit into lane 2 just to give plenty of space. And also it positions me well in this traffic because my next intention is to turn right at Harnham Junction, so I'm already well positioned in the right hand lane given the prevailing traffic conditions. So as you can see, we'll just pause for the route board there. 3 lanes, Downton, far left, straight ahead and right to the Laverstock cattle market, which is our intention. So I'm checking the right hand mirror and shoulder now, popping a right hand signal on and positioning into what becomes the 3rd lane of those 3 lanes. So in the middle lane we have Blandford and the A345. We're going to be turning right to Laverstock, the A3094, and the far left goes off to Bournemouth. So I'm checking the mirrors, 3-mirror scanning. Far left lane, as we said, goes off to Bournemouth, A338. So our intention is to go to Laverstock, so we position out wide. The lane to our immediate right now would loop you full circle round Harnham Junction and be heading you back towards Exeter Street roundabout if you needed to take that route. Scanning the mirrors, we'll notice the car ahead is displaying trade plates, so it's likely to be someone out on a test drive, so they could be out in a new car that they're unfamiliar with, so I'm giving them a bit of extra space, and they do seem to be making good progress. Okay, so once again we're now approaching Harnham Junction from the Laverstock market end. We can just see the route board coming into view there. Now, previously we took the left-hand turn, which is a dedicated left-hand lane. We're going to look to go straight on, and we're going to take the Bournemouth Downton A338, which is the extreme left-hand lane. So we approach initially in the right hand of the two lanes here, so we've got a dedicated left-hand lane to the city, and all other routes use this right-hand lane. So the mound of grass in the middle there, we're just observing the cyclist crossing, but the mound in the middle there, that is the junction, Harnham Junction itself, not actually a roundabout as such. And the cars flowing just beyond it are going to enter into one of three lanes. And the far left one, which we will be taking, it takes you around to Bournemouth, straight ahead to Blandford, or you can effectively loop back on yourselves and come from the direction we are facing now, Laverstock Market. So 3 mirror scanning before moving the car forward. Checking that yellow box junction is clear. The lights are green. So I'm now left signalling as I intend to move right out to this extreme left-hand lane. A338 to Bournemouth. Traffic lights relate to the lane to my right, so we can just flow round. There is no floor marking. Those traffic lights don't relate to this lane. New road, new mirrors. And our intention now is to turn right for the Ring Road City Centre A345. So right mirror, right signal, positioning the car to the right, and now looking to the right for our gap, and there is the gap to flow straight on. Left mirror, left signal, A345 and A36 Ring Road. So this is Harnham Junction, and we can see both lanes are indicated as going straight ahead. But if you want to turn left to Laverstock, you should select the left of these two lanes. They both go straight ahead at this point and flow into the city. So we can take the left-hand lane. Lights were green, yellow box junction is clear. So we're going into the middle lane, which is marked city, as is the one to our right. The left-hand lane is a dedicated left turn to Laverstock. Lights are green, just checking I've got the space the other side of the yellow box junction, which I have. So again, both lanes are signed city. The lights remain green, yellow box junction has space. I keep it to the curb line to avoid cutting the other city lane. I keep it slow, particularly on a wet day like today, for this rather tight left-hand turn. One emerging, they're holding for us. So keep the car moving forward before making our gear change. Looking ahead, our intention is to go straight at Exeter Street roundabout into the city centre. So it's 12 o'clock. Exit, so we're positioned correctly in the left-hand lane. That's confirmed by the city markings on the floor. So straight ahead, so we're not going to signal on approach, so that's we're positioned, so mirror signal position. We're in the speed phase, getting it right down, and we're going to have to come to a halt today. But there's our gap. Now we've got a dedicated left-hand lane, and we keep the car just to the right of that dedicated left-hand lane before checking the left mirror, signalling, and moving the car into the city centre exit lane. New road, new mirrors.